My dad's girlfriend is trying to get rid of me. My mom passed away 5 years ago and I 15F still think about her daily. When my dad had a severe depression, I was essentially left to take care of myself. My dad told me over the Christmas holidays that he had been seeing someone for a while. He seemed to be happier and I assume I was pleased for him. Though I didn't want him to be alone forever, I did feel as if my mother was disappearing entirely. He threw out all of the photos of her and refused to talk about her. He mentioned that his girlfriend will move in after spending Christmas with us. I wasn't happy at all. I've never even met her. But I didn't say anything. I met her on Christmas Day. Me and my dad usually put the star on the tree. We'd hang the star on the tree and watch The Grinch. It's our tradition, and we kept it even after my mother died. It is the only tradition from her time with us that we have kept. I was in the bathroom when his girlfriend came over and he put the star on with her. We also didn't watch The Grinch because she hates it. I know I sound spoiled and childish, but I was mad. We've been doing this all my life and she just came in and ruined it. Throughout the night, she didn't even bother getting to know me. She was all over my dad and totally ignored me. When I told my dad how upset I was about our tradition, he told me that I needed to grow up and accept that things change. I didn't like her because she made me feel bad, so I never got close to her. She complained to my dad about it, and he was upset with me for not making her feel welcome. I felt bad because she made my dad very happy, so I tried to be more friendly with her. She treated me nicely in front of my dad, but when we were alone, she ignored me or spoke rudely to me. She even told me that I am a brat who makes my dad's life difficult. I told him, but he refused to believe me and yelled at me for trying to sabotage his relationship. He accused me of being selfish and wanting him to die alone and sad. I was shocked because none of this is true. My dad basically ignored me after that. I felt exactly like I did when my mother died, alone. One night I was unable to sleep and wanted to sneak in a midnight snack, so I stayed up really late. The girlfriend was in the kitchen using FaceTime, so I decided to be nosy and listen. She was talking about my dad and how much she loves him. She continued by saying that he had this dumb daughter and asked whether adoption would still be possible. Her and her friend laughed about it. She called me a little bitch and hated me. Her friend then mentioned boarding school or military school, but I left and didn't hear the rest. I fell asleep because I was exhausted from crying so much. I didn't tell my dad, and I'm not sure if I should because he's probably not going to believe me. I really miss my mother. Right now, I kind of want to move in with my mom's parents, my grandparents, but I don't want my dad to think I am abandoning him. Update. Since my last post, I've spoken with my grandparents and told them everything. When I asked if I could stay with them if I wanted, they agreed. I then spoke with my dad again, expressing how I felt and what I'd heard. I didn't want to film or record because I knew he'd be mad and refused to listen. He didn't believe me again and assumed I was jealous of having to share him with someone else. I became upset and informed him that I was leaving so he could live happily ever after without the burden of having me around. He appeared shocked but did not say anything. I'd already packed my bags and brought some stuff to my grandparents' house. For the rest of the day, I didn't see or hear from my dad. My grandfather picked me up and I've been there ever since. I haven't gone home and I haven't heard from my dad. My grandparents assured me that they would take care of my dad and that I did not have to. I'm disappointed that my dad hasn't checked on me via phone call or text message. At the same time, spending time with my grandparents is making me feel a lot better. My grandma is probably the happiest woman ever, and my granddad is a little rough around the edges, but he's so sweet. Update 2. My father came to see me at my grandparents' house to talk with me. He brought his girlfriend along. He said, "My girlfriend and I have been talking, and we have decided that it is best if you stay here." My father said I could come clean out my room and he'd help. He also stated that once I receive my stuff, we should take a break from each other and review things in a few months or whatever time it takes. His girlfriend then mentioned how she would take care of my dad for me. In a few days, I'll go over with my grandparents to get my belongings. We will also getting the important documents that some of you have mentioned. It doesn't seem like I'll be coming back home anytime soon. I guess I have a new home now. To be honest, I've been feeling really bad about some of the comments. Specifically, they claim that because I remind him of my mother, he is like that with me. He got rid of everything my mother owned, and I was the last piece of her, so it's understandable that he doesn't want me anymore. I really wish she was still around. I believe he wants to start over, and I was not part of that plan. So I guess that's it. Thank you for all your kind words.